Hey guys, Joshua Peterson here, Peterson Electric. Second part to this video about do I want to become an apprentice electrician. I can tell you this much, guys. I am a part of Independent Electrical Inspectors Association. I've been for years. Great team of guys. Not all of us like inspectors. I don't mind them. I think some of them are typical, I won't say it. But there's a lot of them, though, out there that are really good. And I'm not talking home inspectors. That's just, you can't even compare. I'm talking guys that have been in the trenches and done their work and ran a business or been a foreman. Those guys are out there now inspecting. I appreciate them. I totally respect their knowledge. But I'm a part of their team in Denver, and I go down to my classes for my continuing education units. I'll take as much as I can out of theirs and hit the hotel for a couple of days and stay there. I appreciate that because I've learned such great terms. I've learned things about that. So if you are a person that doesn't like school, you shouldn't be an electrician. If you don't like to study and read a boring book on your vacation or read up on some other information, go to trade expos, then yeah, you shouldn't really become an electrician. If you don't want to, as far as the service side, yeah, it's my bread and butter. I go in and out of, 400 or 500 homes a year in service calls. I get at least one major remodel on a house, and I do a lot of bathroom, kitchen remodels. If you don't like dealing with customers and you don't want to be in and out dealing with their dogs and their cats and their kids, you shouldn't be a technician. I appreciate the technicianal side of it. I always wanted to get into that because I did appliances for years, and then I got into this. And my boss always said, you got to know how to put it together first before you go out there and diagnose it. That's true, but now that I've been diagnosing it for years, now I feel like I put it together better than that. And so I really feel like the code has helped. Understand the code is a bare minimum, so you're going to have to learn to adapt. When you get your own license and get out in your own van, again, guys, it's a license to practice. I don't know why people think contractors are perfect. It's a license to practice. Your doctor screws up. He's at a license to practice medicine, and he'd misdiagnoses, and someone dies, but you can sign a waiver. You can't do nothing to him. But shit, man, if I burn a home down, which I haven't, knock on wood, thank God. But if someone gets electrocuted and dies, I mean, gosh, you're going after the contractor. And that's because we're a small guy. We're not a big, huge hospital with a ton of people protecting us. Insurance. So keep in mind, guys, it's a good field, but I mean, geez, I went 7 years to get my stuff, plus 2 years in appliances. I might as well have been a chiropractor and just have people come to me and adjust them every day. But that wasn't my calling. So again, I speak on this as a calling. If you really like dealing with technical stuff and seeing, power, light, motors, compressors, I mean, all kinds of different items to wire and turn on at work, that is amazing. Day in and day out, every day. I love that. I love being able to find stuff that nobody else has found, such as my underground digs. I mean, I've had people call 5 electricians and 3 different utility foremen through 5-6 years, and they couldn't never find the problem, and I go out and I find it in 45 minutes. I mean, that's my knack. So I don't mean to toot my own horn, but everybody has their knack in their field, their vocation. I have to say this, though, about the electrical world. It gets more demanding, especially in residential, but that's why I like it. It's very, very demanding in the code articles, especially chapters 90 through chapter 3. Sometimes chapter 4. Yeah, chapter 4. So anything in there, it is really demanding. You get into classifications of 5 and hazardous. It can get into that too. But some of the stuff I love to do when I was working for companies, we did a gas station once. Loved it. Loved the rigid bending of pipe and threading, putting the underground in for gas stations. I'm sure in, 15 years, that has totally changed the world too and the way they do it. But again, find your niche. Once you get your license, there's so much to do. I mean, you can go to college, but you got to find a niche. Otherwise, you're just wasting your money and time. I am a college dropout, proud of it. Dropped out after a year. I didn't want to sit underneath a fluorescent light the rest of my life and get told when I can go to the bathroom and take a break. No offense. but I loved being able to dictate my time. I still had to do all that a lot when I was working underneath guys, sure, but now that I work for myself for the last 14 years, I really enjoy dealing with the customer. Not as much the scheduling side, that is tough, but ultimately, hear the complaint, visualize it, know it, get to the on stage, go out, fix it, done. That becomes a really cool effect every day. Also monotonous sometimes, but like I went out on a job, like I told you, I thought it was a microwave. Nothing to do with it. It completely ended up being a neutral fail to the house. So every day is different. If you're a guy that is ADD and you just can't handle it, every day being has to be different. This is a good field. Um, I did love being on ground up buildings, but I was there 2.5 years. Loved it. When I went through a tenant finish and it was every 2 months going to a new tenant finish, kind of I didn't like it. Um, when I got into residential, got a little monotonous for me too. But the service side of it, every day being different on the problem, love that. Um, Again, guys, so hopefully this will help you out. I mean, I tell you this much though, there's not enough electrical contractors. Our state for Colorado, it's 2018. In 10 years, we went from 3 million to, I don't know, 6.5, 7 million people. Who knows? Um, and I'm telling you, there's not enough electricians. So, I mean, yeah, you can charge whatever you want. No, that's not necessarily true. It's nice because, it's not as competitive, but even if it's competitive and you got a good rate and a good company with a good name, you can't just have a good name because you show up. You got to have a good name because you charge well. You're not gouging people, you're not hurting people, but you got to make a living. Certain customers don't expect you to make a profit. What business doesn't make a profit? We're not doing it for free. I can't imagine what airline flies for free. All the gas in the plane and the pilot and the stewardess and all the baggage and the conveyor belts and the DIA and all this other shit. Why do you even say something so stupid? Of course we have to make a profit. Nothing cycles my account and nothing rides on my van for free. Tax is 10% alone to buy that. But the bottom line is, yeah, we're at a minimum 30% markup on parts. Minimum. And if that doesn't appease you, that an outlet you think you can get for $1.99, and I can't mark that up to $2.51, I'm not your guy. Goodbye. But yeah, we're not gonna let you just buy parts and I come in and install them when you're buying stuff that probably isn't even tamper rated because you got it from a big box store that still sells non-tamper proof plugs for residential. You can't do that. But the point is you do have to put up with that. Um, Another part of the field you could get into is low voltage. Great field. No permits, and those guys do the sloppiest, crappy work I've seen, most of them. Not all, but a lot of them do. So, I mean, low voltage is a great side of the field. Another part of the field you get into is a lineman. Gosh, I tried becoming a lineman. Man, you got to have a connection, especially in this little town we called Farm Town now. It's not a farm town no more. Um, but yeah, you could go to lineman school. Great field, man. But hey, I had a pastor I knew once when I was young, like 14. He was a lineman, and something went bad, really bad. Miscommunication. He got blown off a 3-story building, blew off his fingers and his toes, and he was arc flashed. It was probably 7,200 volts. Um, yeah, he was in the hot critical care for a year. I had a foreman in the and that's high voltage. That's above 600 volts. Any stuff I deal with is under 600 volts. The most I've dealt with is 530, usually 480, 277, or 120, 208. But a lot of stuff every day is 120, 240. So you guys get freaked out. Oh, you gotta have this and this and that. I've had arc flashes at 240. It's bad. It's not, but it ain't 480. So keep in mind, PE gear is very important. What you're wearing, eye safety, hands, gloves, shoes, boots. Definitely, guys. I agree with all that. But I had a journeyman get hooked up on a neutral at a school, and I was just becoming a journeyman. He was finishing me up. And Mark, just can't say his last name. Good guy. Loved him to death. He lived hooked up, neutral. Grid got lit up for some reason in school, and that was it. He just couldn't get off. One guy came in, grabbed him, pulled him, couldn't get him off. He got hooked up too, so the next guy came in and just did a Bruce Lee and knocked them both off. Pretty spooky stuff. Been, hooked up twice myself, no one around. And it's not that I wasn't practicing safety, it's just that neutral got onto the light fixture and there was no bushing from the guy before me. So stuff happens, guys. So gloves are so important. You know, I wear my Klein. Ain't mine. I drop $45 probably a month on my pair of gloves. Don't care. That's the number one safety. You guys don't think they're safe gloves. They are safe. They're made of lambskin. I'm at 10 minutes on my video. Hopefully I help you guys out a little bit more. And I'll do another video. Thanks, guys.